All right, fertility update. Not the update I wanted to give, but it's funny-ish because this is the day we were gonna do a test, and last night my period started. So, I was like 10 days past when it was like due. And I was having all these weird symptoms, so I really was like starting to convince myself that it might be happening, which was a bit of a letdown when we were out to dinner at my friend's house, and I just went to the bathroom before we ate, and I was like, oh shit, is that blood? And because we had literally just gone to the store to buy a pregnancy test to like do the test this morning. So that was a bit of a letdown. Because I'm like was 9 days past my period yesterday, so I thought like, you know, yeah, so that was definitely like an emotional letdown because, like, of course, this is what I do with a lot of things in life. I really start to daydream about it. And I had, like, really, just kind of started thinking about, like, what if I am pregnant right now? What does that mean? Like, all the things I got to get and things I got to do. And, like, what's next summer going to look like with a baby? And, like, just started to go down the spiral. So, but yeah, I mean, I know, of course, like, first time would have been so fucking lucky to do it on the first try. Like, that would have been crazy. I think what's happening is my cycle is still just regulating. I think we just pulled the trigger a little too soon. Because my cycle ended up being 37 days, so I would have ovulated about 4 days later. No, 6 days later than I thought that I did. And so we did the insemination like 2 days before my predicted ovulation. So it was just too early. And which is fine. Like, my last cycle, I just was kind of like gonna just track it and see, and then I decided to just like go for it. So like I kind of set myself up to feel this way because it just turned out to be my cycle still like kind of coming into its own. And I really just can't remember what my cycle was like before. I'm like, did I have a longer cycle? Did I have like a pretty average cycle? I really can't remember. Before transitioning, I did not pay attention to it enough to like tell you that like I had a 35-day cycle usually, or like a 28-day, you know what I mean? No clue. So the one positive spin I'm putting on this right now is that my cycle from May to June was 43 days. This one was only 37, so I've cut 6 days back. So it's like, okay, like, is the next one going to get even shorter, where then like, it's going to be more like 31 days, 30 days, like getting closer to that 28-day cycle number. I'm completely synced up with Tori, who's also got her period this week. So we're both just like suffering now on the same days. Like, she just started yesterday as well. So yeah, I mean, definitely was disappointing. I had a good cry in the car on the way home just to like, because it's like, oh fuck, I really thought it was happening. And so like to let go of that for a minute was hard. But then it's like, of course, it's like, okay, first time I'd have been so fucking lucky. Like, it's gonna happen. It's not like it was a one and done. Like, I only had one shot. I've got plenty of chances and plenty of time. Like, there's no pressure. But we just both started to daydream about it, and it felt more real. And so it was just a little bit hard last night. I was definitely very sad. Like, fuck, But I texted Kyle. Kyle's my donor. That's the name. I texted him, and I just let him know, because like the app always like predicts for me about when ovulation might be based on my cycle lengths. So as it gets an average, it's predicting a window. So I just said like, hey, no luck this time. My period just came. Like, right now, I'm probably gonna need you like second week of August, just so like like apps predicting within this date range. But like, I'll let you know when it gets closer. As I'm testing stuff. In case, of course, my cycle is getting shorter and I do ovulate a little bit earlier still. So, just going to keep track. And, like, I should have done for this cycle instead of just inseminating, but I just was, like, excited, so. And he's like, oh, shit. Or he was like, damn it, all right, I'll be ready. And I was like, yeah, I think, like, we just pulled the trigger a little too early. I think my cycle's still kind of, like, regulating. And he's like, second time's the charm, right? Like, we got this. And I just fucking love him for that, because he's like, literally every interaction I have with him, I'm just like, I'm so fucking glad that you're my person, because like, he's just been so great about the whole thing. And like, I'm just so like appreciative of the fact that he's just like yeah, we got this, like, whatever, you know, second time's a charm, you know. So that was precious of him. So I'm hopeful second time will be the charm. But I will keep thee posted on what happens. I just like, I was having so many weird symptoms that I was like, this is so either so coincidental or like something's going on. But also, like, the fucking problem is that like every early pregnancy symptom is also like a period symptom. So it's like really hard to differentiate. So clearly I was just having some PMS. But yeah. So anyway, back to the drawing board. I shall let y'all know when we do another insemination. But yeah, so just gonna focus in on like tracking this cycle a little more closely and see what happens. But okay, I'm gonna go in and clean a house now, but I will update y'all when I have more news.